Gail dressed?
Yes.
Gail, are you decent?
It's dressed.
Hi,
Right.
Gail. How are you? What's for dinner?
Not bad.
The Bongo-sorium, yes.
You know, the drums.
Yeah. Is this available for public view or is this private, Bongo?
And everyone can see it.
All right, so this is how the sausage is made in the Bongo Mike household, huh?
This is it, man. This is it. So
Can you give us a little tour of your skins there, please?
What do you want me to do?
Just point at the skins. I know you got to hold up the laptop and point at it, but what do you got there?
A lot of drums.
You just have a boatload of drums. That's awesome. That is awesome. We should do an unofficial Bongo Mike podcast.
Well, I thought we could do this because I think doing it in this room is kind of cool. There's a lot of cool stuff. And I can have stuff here, Pete. I can pull out stuff.
Yeah.
Like this. We can ask our guest. Do you know? You know what it is?
It's burnt down. Jack in the Box.
We're gonna ask our guests. It's gonna be called a new segment. What kind of crap does Mike have in his basement? And this is one of them. You don't know what that is, really.
That's Jack in the Box.
Jack in the Box. Okay, you got it. You get it?
Are you a sitter or a stander when you do the podcast?
Probably I sit, but
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, I got the Bob Marley Tiki Bar. Yeah, I thought there would be kind of a better way to do it. Gives a little more pizzazz. There we go. How's that?
Oh, that's beautiful. That is absolutely beautiful.
And then if I ever want to pull out a drum, I got them. I got them all right here.
Okay. Put a stick in one of those mugs, would you? Oh, that's it. Voila.
Beautiful. Anyway, I thought this was kind of I was looking at my other stuff. It's kind of boring. This is more exciting.
Yeah.
So yeah, I even have a video that I recorded for you to use.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. And we could do it right now, and then you could put it at the beginning of the show. So right here, a little promo video. Give it a listen. We were talking about what we're going to wear for next Sunday. So
Vest in the tie.
At Motown is a very classy. You got to dress up a little bit or go retro.
Elise?
I'm wearing a dress and maybe I'll have a beehive.
Yeah. I'm wearing a dress too. No.
And a hat.
I'm going to wear just a vest. Just a vest, a leather vest, nothing on underneath.
And a hat.
So you can see the guns.
We're very excited about this
See
exciting
the
show.
guns, huh?
Make sure you come to Sundance Saloon next Sunday for the Coterie benefit. 2 o'clock.
Holiday Heroes.
Holiday Heroes. They dress up for the kids in pediatric ward to make them feel good.
That's
and
right.
Help them heal a little bit.
Yes.
Come support a great cause.
Superheroes.
Yes. We'll see you here next week, January 19th. Be there or be.
Okay.
I got pictures from the Big Head Todd concert that I went to last night.
She should come my way. I greet her with a grin. Yes, I will, yes, I will now. Don't talk about else will bring it down.
Big Head Todd and the Monsters at the Pabst Theater. I have pictures and video from Saturday night. Our friends in My Metal Heart. Dan and Elise and Mark, and they want to be on the show.
Oh,
so we're gonna get them over to Beth.
Okay, we will put them through processing.
We're gonna put them through the process. They want to do it, so we're gonna put that. We'll put a little of that in the beginning of this show. They have little clips, and better get something to
Now,
drink.
of course, this is pre-show. How's everybody feeling? You know, we got big Sunday coming up. Beth's got a little bug floating around. What's going on?
Sick. Don't get me sick, Beth. By the way, I saw Heather who popped in when we did the show with Wolfie and yeah. Heather is gonna pop in at some point too.
Okay.
Down the road. Yeah. More pop-ins.
We are a pop-in podcast.
Pop-ins. And you know what? We also have to do something. We'll wait till Mike Dermont comes on, but I have something we have to talk about right when he comes on.
Well, this is just pre-chat. You know, we're waiting for people.
Yeah, but the pre-chat seems to make it into this. It's good stuff. Wait, you know, we got the video. We're going to do the promo video that we recorded.
You tell me what goes in and what goes out, Mikey-o.
I got you. Well, you already got the videos going to come over, and then we got the Big Head Todd stuff to talk about. We got the My Metal Heart.
Well, let me try that again with the video. Okay, I just put your video in here again.
Yeah, a little PSA for you, and it's right here. So give it a listen. We were talking about what we're going to wear for next Sunday. So
Vest in the tie, vest in the tie.
At Motown is a very classy. You got to dress up a little bit or go retro.
Elise?
I'm wearing a dress and maybe I'll have a beehive.
Yeah. I'm wearing a dress too. No.
And a hat.
I'm gonna wear just a vest. Just a vest, a leather vest, nothing on underneath.
And a hat.
So you can see the guns.
We're very excited about this exciting
See the
show.
guns, huh?
We don't know what the hat's gonna be. You come to Sundance Saloon next Sunday for the Coterie benefit. 2 o'clock.
Holiday Heroes.
Holiday Heroes. They dress up for the kids in pediatric ward to like make them feel good.
That's
and
right.
Help them heal a little bit.
Yes.
Come support a great cause.
Superheroes.
Yes. We'll see you here next week, January 19th. Be there or be. Yeah, that was made at the end of the night with all of the, well, not all of them, but several of my compadres, my fellow musicians who are going to be joining me in the Coterie.
This is your posse?
Passe. So we got this video, and that video is promo for our little show coming up on Sunday,
January 19th. Yeah.
January 19th. You'll like it. You're gonna like the video. It's classic stuff. We got some guests on there. You're gonna love it.
Well,
and you know, down here, Pete, just so you know,
yeah,
I got all kinds of stuff. You know,
Mike, this is like Ray Rayner, man. You just pull that stuff out from underneath the desk. Oh yeah,
I'm ready for March.
Yeah, this is the pre-show. Just me, you, and Mikey Orfanos.
Doug,
there he is. How's it going?
happening, dude?
Am I visible?
You are visible, tie-dyed, and pieced
tie-dyed and fried.
You are glowing, dude. You are glowing.
I think Johnny B is supposed to join us at, I think, 5:34. He was working.
5:34. That's okay.
I'm going to grab a glass of water.
Go ahead, Doug. Go ahead.
All right. Take your time. So, yeah, Pete, the point is down here, I've got a bevy of crap.
All right. Sounds like we need to do a show from down there. Mike.
I'd have to hide all my paraphernalia.
Then you would have a lot of crap.
Oh
A
yeah.
lot of crap. I'm loaded with it. Here, let's show Doug. Let's show Doug.
Yeah, take a walk.
Ready,
Take Doug
Doug?
around. Okay, we see a drum cymbal.
Oh yeah.
Oh boy, look at all that.
Nice.
And he's still married, Doug.
Real nice.
Look at the DVD collection.
Oh man.
Papa's porn collection.
Dude.
I
Gamble the Saint.
I came into my bedroom, my studio's in the living room, and all my rock poster memorabilia and albums and all that. But I didn't have a good space, and I wouldn't have the tie-dyes.
Oh no, that's perfect. Doug.
Well, just so you know, this is the first time I've taken the laptop out of the office and down into the what I call the man cave or the tiki bar.
There it is.
That is very nice.
All kinds of stuff.
I like it.
Oh,
Yeah.
It looks like we have Dermont of Mike.
Dermont. There he is. Mike Dermont.
Mikey D, how we doing? Me. Sunday.
La 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 la.
I think it's good. I don't know about John Braun's technical prowess. We'll find out in
Mike Dermont, have you ever watched Succession?
No. Why,
You are the dude in Succession right
Do
now.
I remind you of some? You know, I get that inevitably someone's going to say, "Hey, have you ever seen this show or that show? You look like that guy." My buddy Tavo Paul thinks I look like Richie Cunningham.
Are you what?
He'll
got
call
a
me
little Tim Pierce look going, perhaps.
I think I gotta monetize this. I gotta monetize the looks, man. Doug, how you doing,
This
brother?
is the
I'm
wrong
doing
podcast.
all right. Can't complain. It's a bit nipply out, but I'm not out. So
I
I
think
feel like
so.
I got slapped in the face with a 2x4 this morning when I went to take the dog out. 4:30, boom! It was cold.
It was cold.
It was cold.
Chili.
yeah.
You know what they say though? Chili today, hot tamale.
Hey, we also want to do a birthday shout out to our friend Wolfie.
Who's that? Wolfie.
Wolfgang
Wolfgang Paul. Happy 20th birthday from
Woof.
Captain America. Where's my
Ah,
Captain America dude?
there it is.
Wolfie, keep that fake ID one more year, buddy. You'll be fine.
You know, it's pretty awesome. I just found out today, there's a full moon out today. And it is the wolf moon. That's what they call it. It's the full moon. It's termed the wolf moon. How cool is that? How many kids can have a moon named after a full moon named after them?
Well, most of them are German.
Most of them are German.
Did that come out of like a Chinese cookie?
No, it came out of an egg
Succession,
roll.
dude.
Egg roll.
Who is the guy from the Succession? I'm kind of looking it up while Did the show start? Are we here?
Whatever.
We're on, man. We're rolling.
Man. We always ramble the first, 3 or 4 minutes.
All right, here we go. Explosion. Bam! Bongo Mike Dermont. And we got Dougie McBride. Welcome from Jaktripper. That's not from Three's Company, is it?
Yeah, we got to. Is
No.
that where it comes from?
No, it comes from, we didn't like the name of our old band, and we were getting some new blood in the band, and so we couldn't think of a name, and we were talking about initially Pearl Jam wanted to be called Mookie Blaylock, the basketball player, and John Braun had mentioned that, and we thought, yeah, that's cool. We want to be, somebody's name. And well, Mookie Blaylock shut Pearl Jam down and said no dice. So we thought, well, it can't be a real person or someone who's alive, or has an interest in it. So we wanted a fictional character. And so we came up, just going through name after name, came up with Jaktripper, and then shortened it to one word and took the C out, and 20 years later, there it is.
I just think of Three's Company when I hear that.
I think of the Beatles, Day Tripper, Jack Tripper. I don't know. Maybe it's I don't know, stretch. Okay.
Very mystical.
All
Suzanne
right.
Summers.
Okay.
So who?
Yeah.
Mikey D, you ready for Sunday? You look like you're ready for January 19th.
I got to tell you what, man. I am so ready. I am so ready. This is it's going to be everything and more, right? It's amazing. We had our final vocal rehearsal. We had our only vocal rehearsal. I shouldn't say final, first and final vocal.
The
rehearsal.
only.
That's right, on Saturday, and I was blown away. You know, I knew we had talent, but we brought in we're bringing in some people that I've never met before and I've never performed with before. Only seen their Facebook clips and such. And we had this gal in there, Regina Karma, come in, and she did Midnight Train,
Georgia.
Not Midnight
Georgia.
Train. I don't know why I couldn't get Georgia. Midnight Train.
New
Hampshire.
Whole
Ja.
train in my head.
Gladys Knight.
She just freaking nailed it.
But he's sure not out the hard way. Dreams don't always come true. Dreams don't always come true. So he pawned all his hopes, and he even sold his own car. Then he bought a one-way ticket back to the land that he once knew. Yes, he did. Yeah, he's leaving. Oh, that midnight train to Georgia. Leaving on a midnight train. So he's going back to find. Going back to a celebration time.
His and hers.
I mean, you know, it's one thing to hear a great singer. This young lady, I mean, every note she hits, she lands. It was incredible. I had goosebumps on goosebumps, man. Jack, Doug, you can certainly appreciate that as a vocalist. When you hear somebody that just, you know, they have it. You know? Yeah. I mean, there's no excuse. Just it was great. So yes, Pete, I am ready.
So Doug McBride, thanks for coming on the show. Beth Miller, thank you for booking Dougie McBride. Right. Who do you know on the show besides me, since we just met like a minute and a half ago? Any relationships that we should be talking about here?
The two Mikes, we run into each other. I believe Mike Dermont is an official member of Jaktripper. I think he sang a song at the Broken Oar when I was on my respite. And
wait, what song was it, Doug?
Oh man,
I think, was it Stone in Love, maybe, by Journey?
Yeah, it was something that we normally
put it right here, baby.
And
you'd have to find it one. I think Seabob.
You have to send it to me. I'm not
listening. Right? Wasn't Seabob was sitting in for you? Was it the Broken Oar or was it Shark City?
I think he did a couple. I had moved up to Minnesota, going through some life changes, and he had a couple medical things, and was hanging out in the Great White North, and so when I kind of got back on my feet, I came down, and I think it was I remember the Oar and a few different people got up, and I was still kind of in a daze. I didn't know if I could ever sing again. And I just remember, I think Johnny, he sings a Rod Stewart song. And so I think he sang the first verse, and I think it was Stay With Me. And so he's doing the lead and his eyes are closed. And so I kind of snuck around the side of the stage and up onto the stage and behind him when he wasn't, he's just jamming. And then I looked at him, and right when he came in with the vocals, just a second before I jumped in, and he kind of looked over and smiled. And so then I finished that song and stayed up for Stranglehold. And that's when I realized why I could still sing a little. And
awesome.
And so I think that day you got up there, Bob was kind of doing some things. Carrie Devine got up,
a
couple, and
It was
And it was nice, you know, it was a good day.
it was a call to arms to keep the Tripper mobile rolling, right? I mean,
Yeah,
everything
amen.
we could do. No, and that's the we talk about how awesome this community is, the Chicagoland community. It certainly is a brethren, right? A brotherhood of people just helping each other out. And I remember when you were going through your personal issues and medical issues. And I don't know if you want to talk about that tonight, but I know it was a wake up call for everybody, right? We're not immortal. And when you have someone close to you in this community that's suffering through that, I think we all kind of feel it. So it's great to see you back on stage. And I've said that to you a few times in our passing. It's great to have you up there.
Yeah.
You're a phenomenal vocalist. You're a great front man. I mean, you've been doing this for a long time, like the rest of us, and you just keep going at it, man. And kudos to you, brother.
I appreciate it. Yeah, I really like the community. You know, as downtrodden as the normal, I guess, the way things used to be with rock. You know, rock is hanging by a, you know, it's out there. Not Chicago's kind of a weird market radio wise, and I'm a free radio guy. I love the radio, and so the one thing I really appreciate about this community is keeping rock alive and you know, and viable. I don't know if this is how it is in other markets or cities, but it's really incredible the talent and the diversity of just songs and bands and the tribute bands, the cover bands, the collaborations. You know, when you think, well, rock and roll's dying, it's not dying.
Yeah.
It's just, it seems to be everything's produced in a way that might be Nashville friendly, but these songs that you hear with a little bit of accent could easily be produced in, you know, could be Motown. A lot of it really is, you know, you hear a lot of click tracks, a lot of backbeat, a lot of Motown stuff that got countrified, but a lot of just good pop songs that could be rock. And I assume someday it'll come full circle, but in the meantime, you know, we kind of got it covered, for lack of a better word.
Well, we were talking about Wolfgang Paul, it being his birthday. He's one of those ambassadors of the future, right? We've all passed the torch to Wolfie in one way or another. And you got Pete Dankelson coming up, and that whole school of rock, I think, is the you know, it's doing a lot for what you were saying, the rock and roll genre of music out there. Because there's not really a lot of new rock and roll, right? It's all the old dogs like the AC/DCs and, you know, the Guns N' Roses still trying to put out some music. It's nice to see the younger kids still playing it, and hopefully we'll get another one of those, you know, that period of time where it just kind of reinvents itself, as what happened with the 60s into the 70s, 70s into the 80s. Kind of lost our way a little bit in the 90s, and I don't think we ever really got our footing back as far as rock and roll. So we'll see what happens, man. Wolfie,
Yeah.
we lose so many of those bands are now retired or dying off, and
Dead.
so you need another inflow of, you know, bands coming through, kind of pick up that, you know, torch. And it is great to see the young musicians getting involved and keeping it alive.
Well,
Definitely.
Doug, tell me about Jaktripper, because I don't know. These guys, they've been around forever, and I just live in my basement and edit videos. But how long's Jaktripper been around? How did it get together? You know, wet my beak.
This is our 20th year. Darren Hawkinson is our bass player. He and I go back to about 1981. I was at a friend's house. We had taken residency up in his mother's raised ranch because she was on vacation, and we had a gig coming up. And so the band moved in for a week, and we were kind of going over things. And I went outside for a cigarette, and it's a summer day, and I hear some Led Zeppelin emanating from a garage a few doors down, and it wasn't recorded. It's live music. So I walked down, and first thing I noticed was this beautiful blonde who was in the garage kind of hanging out with these guys. And so I walked across. They were playing some solid Zeppelin. I think it was Live and Love and Made. And so kind of connected with them, you know, joined their band. I quit the band I was in. I joined their band and married the girl. And so then fast forward about 25 years or so, 2000, a buddy of mine called me up looking for a bass player, asked me what Derb was doing. I gave him his number. They said they were looking for a vocalist. I said, well, what about me? I didn't know you were doing anything. So we got that together. It was called Hoi Polloi. Lasted about a year. And in that, ran into Johnny B, who was playing with a couple of buddies of mine, Tim from Triad, the band Triad, guitar player, exceptional. Steve Moss, an exceptional drummer who I'd known since second grade. And then John Braun was playing guitar. And they had a bass player who I had actually hooked him up with. And so we did a benefit gig at a bowling alley. It went over really good. And they were having issues with their singer. Our drummer was kind of not solid as to whether he is sticking around. And so they asked me to come sing for him. And I said, the only way I'd do it is if Darren came with me. So got together and formed the band Jambui. And that was probably about 2000, 2001. Played for about 3 years. And our drummer, Steve Moss, wanted to move on and do some other things. And right at that time, thanks to Dan Volpe, awesome musician and awesome human, was starting a family and was going to take a break from X-Side, which freed up Jeff Bunag and Roy Silva. And so we had Jeff had agreed, came in, did a half a show with us at Penny Road Pub, and then sat in. And so the next, I don't know if it was a rehearsal or the next show, Roy just kind of showed up with some percussion and a willingness to jump in, and so it just fit so good, and so it was Roy and Jeff, and then Darren and John and myself, and so we went on like that for maybe 8 years, and then Johnny was playing in a UFO band, and Andy Banathy was playing keys in that band. And so we invited him in, and he's been with us ever since. So that's how the seven of us got together. And so I want to say with Andy, it's been about 12 years as it sits now. So, and then just a little hiatus for me, I think it was like 2017, 18, for about a year, and the rest is history.
What songs are your go-tos? Like if I go to YouTube right now and I say, all right, I'm going to pull up Jaktripper, what are the favorite songs? Give me two of them that would pop up. It's like, yeah, that's the good stuff.
Well,
we got to be UFO.
I was going to say,
anything
you got
UFO.
Braun in the band. You got to throw a UFO out there.
I'm asking Doug.
Yeah, that's right. It's definitely a guitar-driven band, and I'm just a failed guitar player that could carry a tune. I always wanted to be a guitar player. I'm a good rhythm player, but I'd always, in bands previous, would always sing as good or better than the guy we were auditioning. So I'd wind up singing, and so vocally, I'm willing to try anything, but the thing that draws me to it, the two things are solid guitars, great tone, and has to be an acceptable snare drum. It's like the first thing I listen to almost in any song is the quality of the snare and the guitar tone. And so Ted Nugent, UFO, Stones, a lot of Stones, classic rock for sure. And then AM radio hits that nobody would expect, like Nick Gilder, Hot Child in the City, Honeymoon Suite, New Girl, just weird things. We try and mash them up, and we'll learn songs, play them once, and just realize, yeah, it's just not vibing, and trash it, much to the dismay of.
Here, I'll ask it even simpler. What's your encore song, Doug?
Yeah, that's never have a same set, never have one at the ready. It's whatever we pull out of.
At the end of the show, what are we playing?
Well, Stranglehold is usually Bob O'Reilly. Stranglehold is one, that we close it with a lot. Has been for a long time.
It's a great set list. I mean, when I first time I saw you guys, I remember being like, man, nobody's covering that stuff. And then I found out that your guitar player was in the UFO cover band. So it made sense why there was a big chunk of UFO in there, but it was just some great classic rock. And just, who doesn't want to hear Love to Love?
That's what we try to do, is we try and stay away from what other bands are covering. Not necessarily with intent, but it's just, we're kind of weird, and very diverse, and just the process is very arduous. We'll each suggest a bunch of songs, and there'll be 15 things we're going to learn, and maybe out of those 15, 2 of them we might actually learn. And we try and turn it over every show. We're trying to add at least 10 songs that we didn't play the last show. And then many times, 5 of those songs will be something we just learned, and we're working on. And so, yeah, we really try to stay away of what everybody else is doing. Funny story, we did a 50th birthday party a few weeks back in St. Charles. It was a girl who had hired us for a party, like, it had to be 18 years ago. And so, we got the thing, was in St. Charles. And so she gave us, we gave her like a list of 300 songs and picked, 60 of these songs. And then asterisks, anything that has to be. And so she picked out her songs, and she put a note at the top that says, that small town girl song. And so we're thinking, she didn't even know the name of it. So we're thinking, well, is it John Cougar Mellencamp, or is it Journey? And of course it's Journey. And so, I don't know that I'm going to sing Steve Perry and make anybody, want to hear it a second time. And so we've gone through that, a number of times where they request it. And we're figuring, well, we'll just wait them out. Usually by 9:30, they're pretty liquored up and forgetful. Well, the thing is, the whole theme of the party was small town girl, to the point where she had hats made up for the guests, baseball caps for the men that said small town girl, straw cowboy hats or cowgirl hats for the women, small town girl. And I tell her, we don't really know that song. And she's like, well, it's the whole theme of the party. And so we're like, okay, we'll figure it out. Well, can you learn it? It's like, yeah, we're starting in like 10 minutes. So I tell these guys, I go to my sound guy, like it's 10 minutes before 9, when she says at 9 o'clock, you call everyone up to the stage and we're going to do the small town. I said, you mean Don't Stop Believing by Journey, right? And she's, yeah, that's it. So I'm like, ugh. So I go to our sound guy, Bill, and I give him my phone, and I put in YouTube, Don't Stop Believing karaoke. And I give it to him, and I said, plug this in the micro jack, and when I give you the thing, crank that sucker to 10 and start it. And so, how some people have tracks, or it could be, vocal tracks or whatever, it is what it is. We don't have a click. We are nothing if not, the real deal, except this time. So it was our first pre-recorded anything. And these guys are like, what are we going to do? I said, you'll see. And so I call him up, and then I point to Bill, and he starts it. And there's, the guitar and everything. And of course, Jeff knew it, because every drummer wants to know that, Steve Smith beat. And Roy, who just figures out anything by thinking about it, he's a savant. He had his part, and so we just kind of played. And she had a girlfriend that wanted to come up and sing it. So I'm thinking, well, thank God. And the girl had a good voice. And so I'm like, oh, thank God, this is great. Well, like halfway into the second verse, she's like, that's all I know. And she leaves the stage, And I know the song, so we muddled through, and people went nuts. It was maybe the most fun I've ever had playing sort of a song. And if anybody who is in attendance, now you know the secret, but I don't think anybody had any idea.
It is amazing how popular that song still is, and how well it goes over. You think it's going to die, and it just keeps, it's the boomerang, man. It just keeps coming back.
I don't want to take us too far off, but Perry's coming back, isn't he?
That's what I've heard. I've heard he's going to do a like a little mini solo tour. But it's funny. I was talking to Jeff Anthony and Jimmy O'Connell about that this weekend as we were driving up to rehearsal, and I'm pretty excited. I hope it happens. Right? And my expectations for that is it's going to be a really cool jazz sounding Steve Perry. Man, I'm not looking for anything Journey because he doesn't have that voice anymore.
Can't hit the notes.
Well, neither does the Filipino kid. He's having issues
Yeah,
too.
he's been struggling.
It's not easy to sing, man. We're not all Dave Coles. That's and Tyler Holcomb. Those guys they're from a different planet, man. Their vocal cords are constructed completely different than us raspy guys.
Well, yeah,
Nobody wants to ever hear me sing.
No, Bongo, you just keep beating that shit.
Just hit shit.
So Doug, should we edit that together to help you get some more gigs for parties?
We're nothing if not honest.
I love that. That's a great story, man. For you guys, for you to come up with that on the fly, that's freaking awesome. And I could just see the band like, what the hell are we doing? Then all of a sudden this track starts.
I didn't tell him.
What did Braun do? Was he air guitaring it, man? Was he just faking it along?
Oh yeah. I said just turn down, you'll see. And I didn't tell him because I had thought of it like maybe because I'm sweating it, and thinking, man, we're gonna let this girl down and
But
did the crowd take over usually?
Oh yeah, they went nuts. They just went nuts.
That's
turned down
I had to. We were playing a show one time. I might have said this before. We had a guy come up and give us money to do "Sweet Caroline" by Neil Diamond. Right, that's Neil Diamond. When you're in a bar, you can sing it with everybody else. I've never sang that song before, so we kind of figured it out. We ended up just singing the same verse like maybe 6 or 7 times and letting the crowd go with it. And it was. I'll never do it again, but it was one of those like songs you said, Doug, everybody knows it. So as a singer, it actually was pretty easy. All I had to do is kind of push the snowball down the hill and it just kept rolling.
Yep.
Let it go. It was an easy $100.
That was good fun. Yeah.
It never fails when you're at a gig though. You get done with your set or somebody comes up to the stage and they're like, can you play this song? Right. Yeah, no, we can't.
I don't think people realize, it's, Doug said they had a list of 30 songs, right? 300 songs. That's a lot of freaking music. Even when you have that list of 300 songs, that doesn't mean it's readily available.
Right.
I've probably got a catalog of 1,000 songs. I'd be lucky to remember 50 of them. And that's giving myself a lot of credit, Yeah. Just to do it on the spot, it's like, we didn't plan on that one.
People are waving cash at you. Can't you do this? Can't you play that? No, we can't.
Sure, absolutely.
Just pull it out of our ass here.
we have
forget about what's on the set list. We're going to just play the song that you want to hear because you've come to the front of the stage.
That's one of the benefits, though, at least when you go see a live band that doesn't use tracks, because they actually can do things on the fly. When you start playing with tracks, it's hard to kind of work that live music back to the show.
Wait, did you just diss all the track players out there?
No, that wasn't a diss. It's called playing it.
They got to hit abort and then trying to get back into, we don't have, I have my words. I'm analog. So I wish I had a better memory, but because we just changed the set, it's not going to happen. And so, I put my lyrics together. It's I might not even rehearse a song, but if I just look at lyrics and think through it, then I'll put it in order. And I got this bloody music stand that I got to get rid of. I actually got a comment, after we did our UFO thing at Des Plaines Theater, somebody says, you really should lose that stand to get a lyric prompt, monitor.
A prompter.
Oh, screw whoever said that. Screw them.
Yeah, and at first I kind of, and it's a guy we've done some shows with, and and they're good.
Unless he's paying you. It wasn't honesty, was it?
Oh no.
Okay.
And I thought I was going to come back, and then I just deleted the comment. I figured, there's no mileage in, starting
there's a lot of mileage.
No, you just never win those battles, right? It's the War of the Words on Facebook.
Right.
Can't you just get like an iPad, right?
Everybody has the iPad on the music stand. I like a straight stand because, I just I'm not holding a guitar. I don't want
Yep.
to play air guitar. So a lot of times I'm going Phil Moog. He always holds
exactly.
the stand. Chris Robinson always has the stand. Freddie Mercury had half a
David
stand.
Coverdale. He's always
right. And so I'm just going. And so the iPad would go flying all over. So I'm going to make a lyric. He did inspire me to construct a lyric monitor. So I'm going to do it.
So, Doug, I got a question to ask. You got all these songs. How often do you guys get together to practice to make those changes? Because I know, like with the Mosquitoes, we're getting together every week and we do about 10, maybe 8 to 10 songs. We'll mix up the order of the songs and all that. But we get together every week to do that. Are you guys doing the same?
I would like that. So we have, Roy and Andy are living down in Tennessee, aka like Tinley Park and places like that. And
well played, sir.
Yeah, and then we're up in the northwest suburbs. I'm out in West Dundee. Darren's in Lake in the Hills or Lakemore. And so we practice at Jen Boonag's place. Jeff and she, her brother Jeff, they got a place in Mount Prospect. Jeff lives in Schaumburg, but Jen is awesome. Thank you, Jen. We love you. I don't think we've ever paid for a rehearsal spot ever. And so we go there if and when. And so we haven't rehearsed since that gig like a month ago. In fact, all the PA parts are in various cars, haven't been returned. And so we have a couple shows coming up. We're actually going to get together. So, but I would say most shows we don't really get together. We, even when we're adding new material. Now, most of the time, if we're adding new material, we'll get together at least once before the show. But most of the time, we don't rehearse. We take care of our stuff at home, and you better hit it on the show night. So.
Do you have something coming up this weekend?
Oh, yeah.
Our friend Bonnie.
So on Friday, we have a UFO show. Electric Phase is our UFO band, and that has Andy Schreiner and John Michaelek are the rhythm section for that. So Darren and Jeff don't do the full UFO. They could probably. We do enough UFO in Jack. So that's at Rock House. We're playing with LP Vinyl. I think we go on at 7. And then following Saturday at the Oar, we're doing an unplugged set, the full Jaktripper. So, and we are doing some new songs, so we will be getting together to rehearse those. So,
who's this young man that just showed up, Doug?
Did Johnny B get in?
He needs some light on him, though, man. He's in the
I'm dark. I'm in the dark.
He is mysterious.
Hold on.
You're good for this show, brother.
It almost looks like Art Nunez, his twin brother. Art, what's going on? No, John, you've probably heard that 1,000 times, man. Hey, Art.
Art's heard that 1,000 times.
Yeah. Well played, sir. How you doing, John? Good to see you.
What's going on, Mike? How are you, man?
I'm well, brother. Good to see you. Happy New Year.
You too. How's everyone doing? Hey,
we're at a bar. We're having drinks. A guy shows up. Who is this guy? Who knows JB?
Nobody.
Well, he's part of the Jaktripper band, so we should have to introduce him, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who?
How do you tell the history? Well, how do you remember it?
The history of us?
Yeah. Where did we first play together, not in the same band?
Dude, I have no idea.
Crystal Lake Bowl.
Bowling alley, right?
Rob is
the bowling alley?
Yeah.
Is that the one out on 176 and 14?
Yeah.
That was the Crystal Palace.
Yeah.
Billy Baruth used to manage that place.
It was nice because they'd give you, it was only a couple $100, but they'd give you a percentage of the bar rate.
I grew up in Crystal Lake. That was kind of where I cut my teeth, man. We always played out there. That was a great place.
Place was nuts.
It was nuts, man. You know what I liked about it? And you'll see this at the Vixen. McHenry County knows how to fucking rock. I mean, they got some heavy rockers out there, man. I love it.
Absolutely.
I didn't know anybody else played the Crystal Palace. I thought I was the only one, man.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, that was the first time I saw Johnny play. and our band Hoi Polloi wasn't, we were all right, but these guys were like,
What
Tim
band
and Steve
was that
were
you
in
were
a
in, John?
signed band. Johnny was in a signed band. Everybody, the bass player, Jim, used to tour with Clint Black for years, or some country guy. And so then I'm thinking, these guys want me to be in this band. I'm like, holy moly. So,
John, what band was that in that you were playing out there?
Was that you know what? That was that Rob was singing for us, right?
yeah, Rob.
I don't even know if we had a band name. That was our first gig ever, I
The
think.
good old Blues Brothers.
And last,
Right.
it was called,
Yeah, what was it? See?
was something with like an ADD connotation.
Maybe it was our only gig with him, and that was it for Rob.
That's
He was out.
hilarious, man.
Yeah, and we stole Doug, so that was cool.
And you stole Doug.
21
So John,
years ago.
John, I see in the team photo. What do you play?
Guitar.
Guitar. Okay.
Yes.
Have you always been the guitar player? Because Doug, wants to be a guitarist.
He can be the guitar player. I can take singing once in a while. Yeah,
He
but
can
always
sing.
guitar. Yeah. Yeah.
John Braun is a sleeper, man. He's an amazing guitarist, but I call him a sleeper because, he's not a social media guy, right? But if you go to see his bands, you're going to follow the bands he's in because he's one of the best that's out there. Every time I've gone to see him or we've performed him, it's a jaw dropper. The guy's amazing, but he's one of those guys you don't hear a lot about unless you're in the scene.
Yeah, I lay low.
You lay very low.
Layer. Yeah.
Kind of pisses me off sometimes, dude, when I want to connect with you. It's like, I do have your number. I guess I should use
I do.
it.
I got yours too. Yeah. Yeah, you hit me up not that long ago, and I couldn't do
I get so used to social media, right? Instant message this, Facebook that, and it's like, yeah, I do have his number. I guess
actually
I
have a phone number. I can call this.
How novel.
So John, what's your go-to solo, man? When you're shredding, you're at the top of the game.
Well, with the UFO project that we're doing, it's rock bottom. It's anything off of Strangers in the Night, as far as I'm concerned, because that is the album for UFO. But I'm so sick of playing it, but everyone wants to hear Stranglehold, and so it's a staple in Jaktripper's set.
Yeah.
I'll leave it out. I won't even put it on there, and then they're all like Stranglehold. I'm like, all right, so we do that, but. I try and just change it up every show. I don't know if Doug told you, we've never done the same set ever. So we just try and we just have fun, man. We just throw it out there and see if it sticks, If it works,
keeps things fresh.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Everybody I can come see you guys every week because it's a totally different vibe every week.
Yep.
How many shows do you guys do a year? Or let's say, put it this way, how many a month, Jaktripper?
Winter we lay low. Maybe we'll pull one a month, but summertime we could do six shows a month.
Right. I mean, and that's you think about it, like we were talking about the different cover bands that are out there, and your set list is very unique, and that's an attraction for guys like me, right? We've all been around, we've heard the same songs over and over again. It's refreshing to go see a band that doesn't play the same music. But it's also a risk you're taking because, you guys know there's certain songs that fans want to hear. And I get in, not arguments, but I get in conversations about this all the time. There's certain songs I just don't want to play. And it's not like I put my foot down and I'm not playing Jesse's Girl, right? Well, that one I will say I'm not playing.
Me
but,
too.
it's hard to attract crowds unless they know you, they love you, that whole thing with a set list that they're not familiar with. I mean, how do you guys overcome that?
We just pretty much, it's hard. I mean, I hate to say we just wing it, like to see if it works.
Yeah.
Some songs we've learned and then we've played one time, and it didn't go over, or we didn't feel good doing it on stage. Something like you'll hear it and be like, oh, this will be good. And then when we get together, it's like, that one's done. One time only, throw it out. But every show it's like, I can't believe you guys played this, or I've never heard anyone play this before. And then we kind of like, okay, let's do that a couple more times and then find something else. And if it works, we stick with it for a while.
That's awesome.
At this time, at this age, we're kind of like, you know what?
You don't like it? You.
And if you sell
I
it,
mean, honestly, it is. It's kind of like, this is what we do. We want to play songs we like.
Right.
And everyone in our age group have grown up with these songs.
Yeah.
And they're kind of like, holy shit, I haven't heard it in 30 years. I forgot all about that song,
Right.
So that's what we go for. You know what I mean? Just to have fun. Man.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's admirable. You're not pandering to the crowd. You're not spoon feeding them the sugar that they all want.
Oh, did you just kind of do like
Wait a minute.
sugar on me? Was that like a little?
well, I was just thinking we're
leverage?
going to, yeah, we feel like if you're committed to a song and, I mean, you see people playing whatever song B and they're just going through the motions, to your point, that's what everybody wants to hear. A lot of other bands do it. And I have always felt like if you're committed to a song and you love it,
Yeah.
it shows. And I think it's, that a lot of like the Aerosmith songs that we do are just not, what other bands are doing. It's not just, the same old ones. So, Chip Away the Stone, Adam's Apple, Big 10
Deep cuts.
Yeah,
deep cuts, right?
that everyone loves. Everyone loves those.
It's interesting because when I was jamming years ago with Friction, we would come up with songs, and I would almost challenge myself. That most bands didn't play, right? But I would challenge myself to try to get who's ever listening to like the song, right? It wasn't just we're going to go out and perform it. Not only do I want to perform it, I want to make it so the people watching Friction learn to like that song. And it wasn't easy, but there were certain songs we did. It was like I was surprised how well they went over that no one else was playing, and those became staples of our band.
Exactly. Yeah, that is exactly it.
Doesn't it matter like when you go on and what day of the week, level of alcohol intoxication that's going on before you start? Is there a sweet spot in the night on a Friday or Saturday night
before Stranglehold?
Yeah.
I can tell you some good stories. Jack is a suitable representation for the band. We all tend to enjoy Jack Daniels, and so there's been times when maybe we've over enjoyed it, and so we're kind of like a blood and guts bar band. We don't really push hard. We're not out there knocking on a bunch of doors, and I mean, we don't even have the vaunted EPK. We're almost the worst promoting band in the history of bands. Don't have a website.
That's your tagline.
Yeah, I mean, we and so I remember it was Johnny's birthday, and we were playing over in Mount Prospect. We were playing
Bar Louie.
Bar Louie.
The Blues. Oh, Bar. Was that the Blues Bar?
Blues Bar.
No, Bar Louie was just down the street. It was in the.
You sellouts. Why would you play there?
Oh yeah. It was in the Holiday Inn.
Yeah, right.
Wow.
Holiday Inn.
They had
so they were having
special
bands,
too, right?
And it was Johnny B's birthday, and we're getting to the end of the night. People always want to taunt him and buy his buddies always buy him. They keep pushing the shots up on stage, and he had a ride. Everything was cool that way. And I think we get to Stranglehold, and it was either.
C-Bob was singing with us. He came up and sang part of it.
Yeah, and
No
so,
way. C-Bob got up and sang with you guys?
and Johnny's
He's so shy.
very shy and wordy. But
Share with the class. Who's C-Bob?
Oh, sorry.
Chris
I thought everyone knew.
Chris Bobrowski,
Bobrowski.
leader of men.
Rock Brigade.
Okay.
Rock Brigade.
Rock Brigade.
Super
Unknown.
Super unknown.
10.
And yeah, you name it.
All
So
red.
somebody that should be on the show next. Okay.
Ether.
Yeah,
C-Bob
Ether, Mall
Experience.
Yeah. Get the list out.
He's a
Stranglehold.
Jaktripper.
Yeah.
He's an official member of Jaktripper, a one-time lead singer.
He's got his badge pin, right?
He sure does. Yeah.
Like Saturday Night Live. Got it.
And so we get to this song, and Johnny is literally playing the lead for Hot for Teacher during Stranglehold, or it was the other way around. It was
I think
either
it was the reverse. I think
it was he was playing the lead for Stranglehold for
They're
Hot,
so
during
similar.
Hot for Teacher.
Man, it worked.
It did work.
You made it work, man.
It didn't work. Trust me, not at all.
No.
If I feel him on the edge, I'll go over there and start singing the lead next to him, and he'll nod, and he'll get back. It's like staring.
It's like playing,
you
polka music to a waltz.
Yeah, at the moment, it worked great until you listen to the tape.
In my head.
I was fucking killing it, man.
Right?
Why didn't they record it like that?
Nailed it.
Yeah, right. Yeah, there's been some of those nights, yes. But, a couple get away from you.
I think we've all had those nights,
No,
right?
I'm not talking about the band. I'm talking about the crowd. You can't be who could be anywhere good at 8 p.m.
True.
Yeah.
And
True.
you're playing in front of a doorman and
Usually
I
end
think
of
11.
first
I think
set.
11 o'clock is around the
Yeah.
sweet spot. And don't take a break, man. You don't
Never.
take a break at 11 or 12 o'clock. Play through, because otherwise they're done.
Yeah, and they're out.
Yeah, if you give them a reason.
Yeah.
If
That's a good question. Do you guys play straight through? Or do you take a break? You do
try to play straight through.
Way to go, man. That's the way
Even
to
if
do
it's a 2 hours and they want us to break, we'll tell them, listen, it's better. Let us just go, because when you break nowadays,
gone.
I love that when you play the oar, Bonnie's got a sign up in the green room in the trailer.
Oh, yeah.
Long breaks kill bands or
Kill
the crowd. No, and she's absolutely correct, right? I mean, and I as a singer, I hate taking. And I don't know if you feel the same way, Doug. I hate taking a break, because if I stop singing, I go into relaxation mode. Then I have to warm it all back up again. I would rather just go straight through and feel the pain tomorrow.
Well, what about if it's a 3-hour show?
Friction used to play straight through. We
We've
did
done
take
it.
breaks.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, if we can, and we'll always say we're going to take a short break, and sometimes it'll, people talking to you and whatnot, and so 5 minutes will turn into 20, and so we try to keep it, if we're breaking, to 10 minutes at the most.
That's good.
I mean, it's the only time you actually get to talk to the people when you're on stage setting everything up. They're all showing up. You got to go on.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, how you doing? Thanks for coming.
Yep.
You don't even get a chance to talk, get out there and meet. So you do want to take some time just to get out there, thank everybody again.
Yeah.
Man, get right back up there, because the longer you're on, the longer you're not playing, man.
Especially the 3-hour shows. The 2-hour shows, I could see you wanting to barrel through. Or if you have a set at a festival where you're doing 75 minutes or 80 minutes, you're just playing, But
Right.
we do these 3-hour shows. It's like, I got to take a piss.
Yeah.
Well, then you just go into a long drum solo, bass solo, or guitar solo. I guess as a singer, I'm a little lazy like that.
What are you
right?
talking about? You got those
4
big
hours straight.
bongos
I could
there.
go take a crap.
Yeah, exactly. Lead solo.
Have lunch, come back.
You got 2 urinals in front of you when you play, dude.
That's true.
Gatorade bottle.
Yeah, you could, really.
You should do that, Bongo Mike. You should hook up like a little receptacle, and you can just piss right when you're playing, man. No one would even know. Just
No one
whip
would
it
know.
out, stick it in the condo.
Except for the look on his face. They're like, what's he doing?
When he shakes at the end, he's getting the little chills.
Little shiver. Get that shiver.
Yeah.
I was going to say, Bongo Mike, why don't you point the camera around at your preferred urinal of choice?
Yeah, any one of those.
Yeah.
Any one of those.
Yeah, that's quite the outhouse you got there, buddy.
That would be a great design.
Oh man,
You didn't
expensive,
monetize that, buddy.
hard to replicate.
Yeah.
Or a bass player. I'm just going to run it through my strap here.
There you go.
They got
Was that your piss
the
face?
drink
That was
That was
good.
the look. The cross-eyed look. That was it.
Oh, it's easier for singers because if there's a instrumental part of it, or
Yeah.
you can dash off real quick and get back. Yeah, but usually if I don't drink enough. Water. Usually, but if you're sweating it out,
Water.
a lot
Little
of times,
asterisks over there. Water.
water. Yeah, a lot of time, you're sweating it out, so
Yeah.
it comes out a different way. So you
Right.
can just kind of carry on.
Anyway,
wait,
let's
hold
get
on.
back
You
the
brought
tracks.
that up. Wait, that is the scariest thing that a musician could ever face. Is that Doug McBride has anybody ever lost it on stage or heard of it?
Passed out.
No, I mean just hindquarters evacuation.
Oh
They
man,
shit their pants on stage.
Yeah, that's
no.
We're not punk enough for that.
Yeah.
Huh.
We know too many chords.
No, I think no, I've never had one of those situations. That brings me back to my little league days, standing on first base. Right? Yeah, I gotta
He shit his pants.
go. When you're sliding into first and you feel a sudden burst, guys.
Johnny B, when you're up there on stage, have you ever had to like fill some time and like really stretch out a solo? If so, what was the song and how long was the solo?
I'm going to answer for him. I know exactly what song it is.
Redhead.
Stranglehold.
It could be love. It could be any UFO song, but it's probably Stranglehold because I think the song's normally 8 minutes. You can make it a 37-minute song if you really wanted to. In fact, I think I saw Jaktripper doing Stranglehold once. The Mosquitoes came up and jammed with them just to extend it even further.
How could you tell the difference?
I'm trying to get them to do some extended things, some Grateful Dead, maybe some Almonds, but that's where Johnny and I mean, he's my soul brother, man, my musical brother, and definitely, and we kind of have a fire and water. I mean, we love most everything, that we like what each other likes, but still trying to get a little bit of that, we've done some Grateful Dead, but there's some songs that some Lowell George, I've been begging to do some Little Feat forever, and it's just I'm shut down, and we kind of respect each other, all the guys, we try to be, work together, and if somebody really hates something, or just can't seem to vibe on it, we'll nix it. But conversely, we've also done some things where some people just didn't have any interest in it, and then after doing it, I'm one of those people. Man, I really love this song, and so it kind of works both ways.
Jam often where it'll take like Stranglehold is pretty much straight to the record. If we're gonna I'll go off on whenever we do like Brick in the Wall.
There you go.
At the end of another Brick in the Wall, I'll go into a talk box solo. Go figure. Don't know why, but it just seems to fucking work. And sometimes me and Jeff can just get into this groove where we're just Jeff's the drummer, and we can just go for 15 minutes, and it's just. And then we'll just throw it to Andy, and Andy can play it. Me and Andy will go back and forth on keys or something.
Yeah, and the Black Crowes stuff.
And the Black Crowes stuff too. Yeah, we can just go off on
So, John, do you watch the crowd then? Watch the reaction?
Oh yeah.
I mean,
if they ain't feeling
you start to get the rolling eyes and like.
Yeah. If they ain't feeling it, I mean, when the crowd's not interested, I want to end it as soon as possible. Yeah. Because you can just tell.
Mike Dermont, do they physically look at their watch like that when you're on stage?
I do. Sometimes I watch bands and I'll be like, I got a roast in the oven. Can we get this thing going here?
Here, let's get some clickbait going here. What are the top things to look for when a crowd's not into your solo?
They're talking to each other and
any attention to you.
Yeah, and in between songs, if the roar of the conversations are, substantial, you gotta, no dead air, maybe song to song, do something upbeat, danceable. Stevie Wonder usually solves that.
Yeah.
Here, let me flip the coin. What are the positive ones? That's generally when they're picking up the phone and recording you, right? Because I would do that. I would count, see how many cameras were up, depending on the set list. But
there's times where you're playing a song and we're fucking killing. We're just like, man, we're kicking ass, and that song ends and nothing.
Crickets.
That's one of those songs, John, we were talking about earlier. You're doing it for you, not for the crowd.
And then you're like, okay, let's move on to something different.
Yeah.
Scratch that from the list.
Yeah.
That's always that's the most difficult though, when you get the non-response and you're like, okay, quickly, let's get into this next song, right? Because it's so bad. Yeah. That's the moment you're going to shit your pants on stage. We're talking about that would be the one.
Good night, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you. Try the veal, tip the waiter.
That's right.
And we have a list of taboo. There's no Jessie girl, no brown eyed girl.
Yeah. What's the list?
Give
me 5.
Two good ones.
Yeah. Any Neil Diamond that anybody's heard of.
Right.
Likely, so I love, there's some great Neil Diamond songs.
Neil Diamond's great. So
fantastic.
Kentucky Woman.
Well, there you go. So I mean,
Franklin Rose.
and that's where we live, is on the B-sides and on the songs that nobody else is playing.
Right.
And then, oh wow, I would have never thought somebody would have played that. So, we don't do a lot of
Yeah.
Tom Petty, but American Girl's kind of on that list.
The town is full of bands that fucking kill that stuff. And,
Yeah.
And why? To me, it's like, why step on their toes?
Right. That's a great way to look at it.
You know what I mean? It's not like we don't want to do it because we don't want to do it. There's so many bands do it great.
Yeah.
So, and then when we hear a band do a song that we pulled out of like our ass that nobody will ever do it, and then we hear them do it, and I'm like, wait a minute, they stole that from.
Yes.
They stole it from me, and I stole it from the
I stole it from that guy from the '70s. Yeah.
Yeah, I know, it's hilarious. That's my set list.
Yeah.
Even like the Cheap Trick, we do a ton of Cheap Trick, a bunch of Cars. We could do tributes to, 12 different bands, but we're always looking for those cuts that, people who like the band are going to remember the song and like the song, but it's just not the typical song. We do Cheap Trick. We do a bunch of Cheap Trick, and used to do a tribute a few years back. And Surrender we've done a million times, and for whatever reason our bass player, who's a lovely human being, has an allergic reaction to that song. There's something that he doesn't get. It's the goofy notes in the beginning, because it's like, is it a B, is it an A, or is it both? And so he doesn't like to play the song, but we sound check with it almost every show. We'll sound check. It has some keys, it has vocals.
Yeah. Good vocals, keys, everything's in it. Yeah.
It's the quintessential sound check song. I think Friction used to use that one too.
Yeah.
Do you guys use the same song for sound check every time?
Yeah, we usually stick with Surrender.
Pretty much.
Remedy by the Black Crow.
That's the funniest thing, because I don't know about you guys, but you guys ask around, hey, what song you want to do for sound check?
Oh yeah, and it's always everyone's staring at each other, and then it always end up being Surrender.
400 songs, and we can't think of a song.
You think after 20 years, you guys being a band, you'd figure out the freaking song check, right? Because it's going to be the same song every time.
Yeah, we don't.
And then everybody loves Surrender. They go nuts for the sound check, but no.
And then you're like, psych, it was just sound check.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know bass players had that much pull in a band.
Well,
it's the foundation.
Okay,
drummer and bass player.
Gotta have the boom.
Starts there.
All right, I'll remember that. So Dougie McBride, Johnny B. Brown, what do you guys have going on this weekend? Can we point people to a show that you two might be playing together in?
Sure. Friday night, like Doug said, we're opening for LP vinyl in our UFO project, which is called Electric Phase. That is Friday night at the Rock House. And the following Saturday, the 28th, is it?
25th.
Oh yeah, that's that one. We're at the Broken Oar upstairs, acoustic, Tripper acoustic. So
they still have all the Winter Wonderland going on up there?
Yeah, that's down. Well, I think that's downstairs. They
got downstairs. Yeah.
Castle, whatever they call it. But upstairs is
Arctic Bar.
Yes, there you go. That's it. Yeah.
So the Arctic Bar used to be downstairs. I haven't been over there since they put it up this year. Is it still where it was last year, or is it upstairs?
No, it's still downstairs. When you come down the stairs and you go out to where the bar is downstairs, that's the Arctic Bar.
Yeah. Okay.
Upstairs, there's kind of an acoustic setup on the overhang, that new area that they built kind of closer to the river.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So we did that last year, and I thought that's where we're doing it, but it says bands in the barns. So we'll find out when we get there. And make do.
Right.
Well, see, if we had Bonnie on the show, because we've invited her to be like a recurring guest on here, she could have pitched in right there and clued us in. But we'll have to do the best that we can.
Put it this way: it's going to be at the Broken Oar. It's a mystery location within the.
Either go upstairs or downstairs.
Jaktripper. Don't know where they're going to be, but they're going to be there.
There,
boys. When you play there, I'm just throwing it out there. Could somebody fix the oar?
Yeah, we've been working on. The Coterie is thinking about putting an event together to raise money to fix the oar, the broken oar. Yeah.
It's broken.
Speaking of Coterie, Mike, what do you got going on?
We have on Sunday, the 19th, 2
This
o'clock.
coming Sunday?
This coming Sunday.
All right.
At Sundance Saloon, we are doing Coterie Motown, raising money for the holiday heroes. 2 o'clock to 6 o'clock, $10 admission, all ages. There are a few reserved tables now available. Bobby,
They're sold out. I looked.
They are, well, they're sold out the tables. There'll still be standing room, right?
Yeah.
Oh, Bonnie's going to throw. I'm sorry. Bobby will throw out some tables at the
He's
last.
going to throw out some, we already talked about it. He already
Double the price. Yeah.
But,
God bless America. I love it.
It's going to be an amazing show, man. We are stacked with vocals, and that's what it's all about when it's Motown. You've got 7 singers at the same time. You know, it's amazing.
I saw a clip and whoever was singing the Smokey Robinson.
Yeah.
Oh, man, it was
I'm telling you, Doug.
super good.
I was telling these guys earlier, it's goosebumps, man. I specifically took only 3 songs that I'm going to perform because I really want to watch this show. I love Motown. I don't want to be participating. I want to be part of the audience. For
more fun that way.
Yeah, hell yeah, man. I'm a fan.
You know? Yeah, absolutely, man.
Plus, they're a hell of a lot better singers than I am. So
I don't know about that, but
I'm on too many songs. So I'm on, I think I'm on like 35 out of 42.
Are you really, Bob? Well,
I think so.
You'll be working, brother. You're gonna be working.
I'll be there. I'm looking forward to this one.
Yeah, we've got
I got somebody filming it.
We got the percussion. I mean, we got amazing bass players. We were talking about bass earlier. I'll tell you what, man, Motown, you got to have that bass and those drums locked in because that's where it all starts. That's the foundation upon which the house is built.
It's gonna be so good. I mean, if the practicers were anything, any indication, you know, you don't want to miss that.
Yep.
Well,
Bongo Mike, I'm not telling you what to do, but I think this would be the show where you would put that little addition into your bongo.
I'm gonna need it. I mean, how am I gonna
urinal?
Yeah, I got to do it eventually.
You funnel with a tube and
dude, it's just all you got to do is just take one of your old beer bongs and just kind of retrofit it, and you're good to go.
Perfect.
Okay, before I let Doug and John go, where are we sending people to check out your band?
Facebook page is the best way. Jaktripper.
Okay.
J-A-K.
No C.
Tripper.
Yeah, J-A-K Tripper.
Got it. And we'll put the link right here in the show notes. JB, Doug McBride, Mike Dermont, Bongo Mike. What a great episode of the HOGPOD Chicagoland podcast.
You're all over the board, man.
Glad I could join in.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah. Thanks for coming on, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, boys. Can't wait. Take care.
All right.